Hey, John Hatcher here with your Tuesday Blues, and in this week's lesson we're going to tackle a tricky Texas rhythm in the style of Pride and Joy by Stevie Ray Vaughan. And we're going to do it all on the acoustic guitar, and I think you're going to like it, so stay tuned. This is really a fun rhythm, and it certainly is tricky, but to simplify things, we're going to take a look at what your fret hand is doing separately from what you're doing with your picking hand. So let's dive in by taking a look at this bass line that we're working on the fretboard here. Here's the pattern in E, just stripped down and completely simplified. Alright, so we start with the open 6th string and then go up to the 4th fret. Then we switch to the 5th string and walk up from 2, 4, 5, and then back down. And hit that 6th string, 4th fret, and then the 6th string open. So here it is. Alright, once you have that pattern down, it's really important to practice that and get it really ingrained in your head and in your fingers, because there's a lot more going on with your picking hand than usual. So I want this to be sort of just ingrained in your muscle memory as you're going through this piece, and then we'll focus more on the picking hand. So let's do that now. To mute, I'm going to start by muting out the strings and just getting a look at this swinging rhythm. It looks and feels like this. I'm crashing down on the bass strings, and I am using a thumb pick here just to make these bass notes pop, but you can certainly do it without it. And that's sort of the downstroke, and the up is with my index finger, and I'm just sort of raking across all of the strings. And as you notice, there's a good bit of motion happening here, and I'm pivoting mostly from my wrist. And there's this, back and forth sort of feel. And you really just have to kind of get into the groove, get into the pocket of this thing, and have some fun, let loose. You're not going to get this to sound really good if you're being really stiff with your strumming. So that's the basic movement, down and up. Alright, so let's take a look at one more thing that your fret hand is doing as we bring these two parts together. Now, you're crashing down, like I said, on the open 6th string, and then we're going to pick up across all the open strings. But those ringing out like crazy just don't sound that great, do they? So, at that moment, you'll want to come back down for the next bass string note, and that's going to be this G sharp here on the 6th string. And when you come down for that note, you need to make sure and mute out all of the other strings. So that's how we're going to choke down on those open strings ringing out. We don't want them ringing throughout this thing. It just won't sound good. But that choking effect is what gives this real percussive rhythmic flair. So here how, when I do the upstroke and I come down, the minute I come down on the strings, that's when I'm playing the bass note. And so like right here, the finger on my fret hand that's actually doing the muting is this first finger. That takes quite a bit of coordination to get down. So really focus on the basic fundamental movement, which is this down, up, choke, at the same time you play the bass note, the next bass note. Once you've got the basic down, up, choke down, movement down, then you'll want to really dig in and just make this thing sound super mean and gnarly, much like SRV did in Pride and Joy. It might sound something like this once you really get it going. If you like this lesson, be sure to hit the subscribe button to make sure that you don't miss a single Tuesday Blues lesson. And also, if you want to really follow along with this, go ahead and sign up as a free member on Blues Guitar Institute's website, and you'll have access to this tab along with all of the tabs for Tuesday Blues lessons. You can do that by clicking the link below. Does it cost you anything? Just come on over to Blues Guitar Institute, click sign up, and get started.